My name is Sarah Woodbury, and today we're talking about Tintern Abbey in Ireland.
Tintern Abbey is one of the most iconic medieval sites in Wales. Why are you talking about Ireland?
Talking about Tintern Abbey in Ireland because it's appropriate for this place in the video series. We're actually going to get to Tintern Abbey in Wales in a later video. Tintern Abbey in Wales is the mother house of the one in Ireland. It is often called Tintern Major, while the one in Ireland is called Tintern of the Vow, the reasons for which we'll get to in a second. We're in Ireland at Tintern Abbey, established by William Marshall in 1201. As we talked about last week, William Marshall married Isabel de Clare, daughter of Richard de Clare, who made himself Lord of Leinster by marrying the daughter of Dermot, the Irish King of Leinster. Richard de Clare was also the Earl of Pembroke, so when he died without a male heir and Isabel married William Marshall, William became Earl of Pembroke too, and thus the Lord of Chepstow. King Henry had granted William permission to marry Isabel in 1189 while on his deathbed, which is a story in and of itself in that William then hightailed it across France to reach London to meet Isabel before Richard the Lionheart was crowned king and reversed Henry's decision. Isabel was a great heiress, as you can imagine, and he didn't want to lose that prize. Richard did ultimately approve the marriage and made William one of his most trusted advisors. That still didn't get William established as the Lord of Leinster, however, even though he had a right to it, since it was currently in the hands of Richard's younger brother, John. John, who was only a prince at the time, was not disposed to hand over Leinster, which had been without its rightful ruler since Strongbow died in 1176. However, when Richard died without an heir in 1199, William Marshall was influential in putting John on the throne instead of his rival, Arthur, the eldest son of Richard and John's older but deceased brother, who actually maybe had a stronger claim to the throne. In exchange, possibly, John finally gave up Leinster to William. Now we get to Tintern Abbey. On that initial journey to Ireland to see his new domains, William's ship foundered in a storm in the Irish Sea. The story goes that he was in a storm at sea and prayed to God to save him, and if God saved him, he would establish an abbey wherever he landed. That abbey was Tintern. It is located at a place called Salt Mills in South Wexford, on 3,500 hectares granted to the Cistercians by William Marshall. It was colonized by monks from the Tintern Abbey in Wales, of which William Marshall was also a patron. From our discussions earlier about the differences between abbeys and priories, I would have thought the second Tintern should be called a priory and the first an abbey, but that's not the case. After the dissolution of the monasteries, Tintern Abbey here in Ireland was given to an English lord, and he turned it into his private residence. This is original paneling that he would put on the wall of actually this room because the door was here. And then on this side is the original partition wall made of wattle and daub. Wattle and daub is where they take these thin whippy sticks produced by coppicing and then plaster it with mud and straw. And it creates a wall that is actually better than stone because it absorbs moisture, which is a problem in this country. The family that owned Tintern Abbey lived in it up until 1963, so hundreds and hundreds of years, 500 years of residence. One of the signs here says that if they knew what they know now, they would have left the residence as it was as a record of a continuously lived-in house rather than what they did do, which was rip out the entire residence and try to restore it in some sense to what it might have looked like in the 1300s. Today, all that is left are ruins of the nave, chancel, tower, chapel, and cloister. Next week, we'll be talking about another Cistercian abbey, Bective. Thanks for watching my video. You can click on the playlist or subscribe to my channel to see more. There'll be a new video next week. If you want to check out my books, click on the link to my webpage.